demise is irreparable. I now solemnly request respected Radhika ma'am to pay homage to the departed soul.
Were the introductory words of the speech he read out to the staff that had met in a classroom on the first floor of the old building at Taltej 25 years ago. That was enough to give us an indication to the kind of man he was. Ladies and gentlemen, I stand here to speak a few words on late Mr. V.C. Shah, who had been one of our trustees. For those who don't know, as Sarmishtha just mentioned, he passed away in February this year. I am a little conscious that I am speaking about him in the presence of people who have known him their whole lifetime, like Shri Gautambai Choksi and his son Asit. In my first meeting with Mr. Shah, where Gautambai was also present, he said, "We wish to make the school a temple of learning. If Udgam has preserved its pristine glory, unadulterated by the onslaught of the newfangled ideas that make schools appear more like glamorous business houses, much of the credit goes to Mr. Shah and the other trustees who are down-to-earth, no-nonsense individuals committed to the cause of education." Mr. Shah was a personification of the phrase simple living and high thinking. He was a perfectionist, a man of high ethics and principles. As a perfectionist, no error escaped his eye, whether it was in accounts, in any written matter, or even in pronouncing a word or a name. He would flare up at a blunder committed by subordinates, yet cool down equally fast. His impeccable language, combined with an eye for details, made others around him strive for that perfection. He was frank and blunt in expressing his opinions and comments. In the 25 years that I've been acquainted with him, I must have met him twice a year on an average. The meetings were brief but memorable. He used to come to school every year for interviewing parents of children seeking admission to the nursery class, along with, of course, Gautambai and Rajabhai. Though I was not present at the interview, I used to watch the whole process through the glass partition. I have heard from parents that he really grilled them. For some, it had been their toughest examination. The first year, he was present at the interview of teachers and observed their demo lessons too. I was more nervous than the teachers who were giving demos, because I was worried if we would find any teacher to match the high standards that Mr. Shah had. I would like to end with a very personal anecdote. My brother had screened his first film after graduating from the Film Institute in Pune at CEPT in 1992. I had invited a few people, and Mr. Shah came to watch the film, which was titled Accident. I was very surprised because we were hardly introduced at that time. While watching the film, I expressed to him the fear and worry that my whole family had about my brother entering the film industry. But his response was quite unexpected. He said, "You must encourage youngsters to try the unexplored avenues." I was a little comfortable at that time, though I didn't know what the future held in store for my brother. After a few years of struggle, He is now a successful writer, editor, and director. I have one regret though today. I could not thank Mr. Shah enough, and at best I can convey my thanks to his son. He had been a silent inspiration to me and many others present here, and will continue to be so. Let me take this opportunity to thank all those who have supported me and stood by me through thick and thin in my career as a teacher and principal, lest it becomes too late tomorrow. Thank you.
Thank you, Radhika ma'am. I'm sure Shri V.C. Shah will always be showering his blessings on us from his heavenly abode. It is our privilege and honor to have Shri Asit Shah, son of late Shri V.C. Shah, with us today. We are truly humbled by your presence, sir, and we are grateful to you to have agreed to preside over this conference. I would request Ms. Sejal Mehta to please welcome Mr. Shah with a token of respect. I now request Shri Rajabhai Pathak, our Honorable Trustee, to kindly come on stage to address the gathering and educate us with his thoughts.
Very good morning, all of you. To me also, Shri V.C. Shah was more than a teacher. He taught me the lessons of life, which in return I do teach to teachers and my students. I bow down to this great soul and promise him that we will never compromise with quality which he lived for his life. In this era of uncertainty whether the rain will come on time or not, uncertainty whether though we have planned the whole year, whether we will be able to run the school all the days or not, what will be the response of fee committee, what will be the fees of the students, whether our pay packets will affect because of this phenomenon. All uncertainties. One thing is very certain, that we are teachers and we have to deliver. When God was creating teachers, he was very busy, working very hard. One Devdut was watching all this process, and he asked God that why you are taking so much time? You are very fast otherwise in creating human beings. Why you are taking so much time? And God replied that I am creating a creation which is a reflection of me. It needs 6 hands, 3 pairs of eyes, a smile, even in the times of oddies, and what not. The list is very long. Devdut asked, why you need a person with 6 hands and 3 pairs of eyes? And God replied that I am going to give him duties and duties and duties. They have to prepare lesson plans, they have to give homeworks, check notes, check question papers, give dreams to children, talk to parents, educate them. In fact, I am creating a creation which is going to nurture my next creations. Believe me, we are so blessed that we can do wonders if we feel that we are good teachers. Many times in this era of Facebook and WhatsApp, we have known one technique, and that is the technique of deletion. You receive more than 50 messages every day, and out of 50, 49 you delete because they are usual messages. Your eyes want something new. We will have to remember the same thing when we are going to teach our children. Do not think that they do not know anything. Today, even patients, when they go to doctor, they Google everything. Today, when people go to lawyers, they know almost everything. Likewise, our students also, they have this facility. They have faster computers than us. They have much more time than what we do have. So don't think that they do not know. But what they do not know is how to dream and how to master themselves. And we have that technique, we have that possibility. We can nurture the creation of God by giving 100% from ourselves. You have been doing all these things, and yet another new year. Can we do something new this year? Let us think. Answers will come from within only. There is no guides for this. Many times, when you see the movie, you have all different kind of, they have grown like anything. Even when you go to a restaurant, waiters have now changed. They talk to you in a very different manner. Can we also change ourselves and be a role model to our students so that they start dreaming of something which will help our society, our country to remain great? I remember Dr. Abdul Kalam's version when he was in 6th standard. His teacher used to take whole class near, he was studying in Rameshwar, so she was there. And teacher used to show them eagle and gave them dream that, you can go even bit higher than this eagle. And he has written that he started thinking that he will go into robotics, he will start doing all this technology, and one day he will be responsible for the India's science and technology development. That teacher was not knowing that he is giving dream not to a student, but he is giving shape to the whole country. So let us remember one thing, that God has given us tremendous power to be alive for lifetime. Teacher never dies. You also remember all your teachers with a great respect. So will your students do. So please start Googling not from the internet but from within and search something which will have a wow effect, which will give a very zeal to our students, and ultimately our goal to see that they achieve mastery is achieved. I wish all of you a very happy, fruitful, and achievable whole year. This is maybe it is not a mistake, but we have printed it is 1617.